If you don't mind, state your name and what you are running for.
Renee Clay Circle, I'm running for county coroner.
So the first question for the coroners, what experience or experiences, background or training do you have that qualify you for this position?
Well, I have these push cards that are out front on the table that everybody can get and read, and Lauren told that I've got a lot of different certifications, but I wanted to talk about this spring. I started working on my national board certification for death investigators. And I've learned so much working on that. This summer I went a lot and worked at the crime lab because we're very fortunate where we live. We don't have a lot of homicides. And so I have to do all these, so many cases where you do the autopsies and you work the different cases and the different kind of homicides. And I really learned a lot working at the crime lab about what cases they want you to send in, what cases they don't want you to send in, you know, what to look for, and that was very, very helpful to me. And I'm, you know, hopefully this fall or this spring I'll be able to take my test and get national certified. There's 75 counties in Arkansas, and I'd say there's 12 to 15 that are nationally certified coroners.
If you don't mind, state your name.
I'm Seth Worthing, running for Sharp County Coroner.
You need to repeat the question.
Why not?
Okay. What experience or experiences, background, or training do you have that qualify you for this position?
Well, I graduated back in December from Arkansas State University, as I said in my biography, with an emphasis in history and criminology. Took many crim courses that helped with not just law enforcement, but also actually studied murder and homicide a little bit as well. Also been raised, as I said, in the funeral profession literally since I was born. My father started working in the funeral home in the late 80s, so literally been in it since my birth, and was actually a deputy coroner for Fulton County, still am, was a deputy coroner for Sharp County for 4 years under him, and pardon me, also a certified medical legal death investigator through the state of Arkansas. I've been trained under the hands of the head chief examiner down there, Dr. Kiriakos, or I believe that's his name, and also Dr. Peretti, and also with the experience of being on the fire department, not only have experience with the coroner's office, but also in emergency management as well, and that's most of my experience. Oh, and also going to be taking a course in 2 weeks for the Arkansas, for the Coroners Association for crime scene photography, that as well.
Well, I have you up here. We'll go ahead and have you go first on the next question.
All right.
Which is, what is one thing you plan to implement, change in the coroner's office that you feel is currently lacking?
Response time. As a firefighter in Highland, many EMS, firefighter, police, we all speak to one another. It's all a real tight-knit group. There's been 6 inter-county agencies now who've said that the response time to the coroner currently is not the best at the time, and there's some time that is unnecessarily wasted due to waiting on the coroner or deputies that can be used at other calls, such as incident happens, we're a small town, you got one truck already out working on an accident, they're having to wait, and then unnecessary time of being waited on, and just, it's one of those moments where you're kind of sitting here thinking, there needs to be better response. I mean, yeah, that's sorry, a little nervous at the moment, but honestly, just the response time, because lives are at stake.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thank you. All right. If you want to come up? Sure. Do you need to repeat the question?
Yes.
All right. What is one thing you plan to implement, which with you being the incumbent, what are maybe some things that you would like to change or feel that it's currently lacking, something you can do better?
I feel like we're doing a great job. I feel like we have no complaints. We have excellent response time. I don't plan on changing anything. I mean, we have no problems. We have no complaints. We work well with law enforcement. All my people are trained. All my deputies, they have the same kind of training that I have. You know, we've all already took the photography class that he's talking about. So I mean, I don't plan on changing anything.
Okay. All right. And then we've got our JP, and you'll have to, excuse me, which district are you from?
I'm from Cherokee Village, District 2.
Okay, and then you, sir?
District 6.
Okay, so, Marilyn, if you want to go ahead, you want to come up first? State your name and your district.
Hi, I'm Brianna Diorio, and I'm running for re-election for Justice of the Peace, District 2, Cherokee Village.
All right. So the first question, what processes and procedures will you strive to continue and or establish in regards to county business?
Well, we need to bring the cities, county, and state government together. We need to unite and grow our economy to survive. We are struggling, and if we could unite as a huge community, as Sharp County as a whole, in the state of Arkansas, we could do a lot better job.
You want to go ahead and answer your second question?
Oh, okay.
I don't know how Lauren necessarily did it before, but we'll go this way. So your second question, what are some of the issues in your county that you want to help resolve?
To grow our economy by bringing in more small businesses. Also that we build a Sharp County Detention Center that will help keep our community safe. I end this with this. I tell my son every single day that I drop him off to school, do your best and be your best. And I say it to myself as I say it to everyone. We have to set examples for our children, and us fighting all the time or looking ugly or saying ugly things about each other isn't doing our kids any good. They are our future. Let them see good examples so that they become good citizens.
Thank you. If you don't mind, tell the crowd your name and what district you're from.
I'm Everett McGuire. I'm from the 6th District, which covers up north of Ozark Acres to south of Poughkeepsie, all the way to the Lawrence County line, falling 58. So I got that big swath over there where all the hunters come.
All right, so the first question, what processes and procedures, what processes and procedures will you strive to continue and or establish in regards to county business?
Well, let me give you a little background of what Justice of Peace do. There's 9 of us that serves on the Fourm Court. Our main job is the legislative portion of the county. We generate the revenue, we make the budgets, we approve the laws and the resolutions. That's the main purpose of our part. Of course, we get tied up with everything else, like roads and all that stuff, but that's part of the executive branch, and so there's a separation there. I think one of the problems we have on the Fourm Court, and I'm trying to improve it, is we really need to make sure that we're getting the value for your tax dollars. I see a lot of places where that money just kind of fizzles away and we're not really controlling it. For example, we need to get control of the time cards. We have people signing out at 5:30 and their cars are parked in the driveway at 3:30. So there's a problem there, and the supervisors are not taking care of it. And I'm not sure if the JPs can take care of it, except make noise and embarrass people to do their job. What else?
All right, so the second question, what are some of the issues in your county you want to help resolve?
I think most people are really frustrated with how to find out what's going on in the county, where to locate, where the meetings are, what's the agenda for the meetings. At the Fourm Court, we have very few people that ever show up. The citizens the only time they show up if they've got a gripe or a complaint. They need to show up so they can keep us accountable. And that's what I'd like to see more of that. One of the ways I would like to see that happen is that we have a website for the county. The judge does all the input on that website, but I'd like to see all the meetings and the agendas and put on that website so in a timely manner so we can find out what's going on. If we're interested, we can make it. Sorry, I'm a little emotional today. My sister had a car wreck today. Anyway, we have that available for us, and we need to use it. We need to link into the cities. We need to link into the fire departments so that somebody can go to one place and find out what's going on in the county. The state paid a lot of money for this to get it implemented throughout all the counties in Arkansas where we're not utilizing it like we should. What else? Is that it?
Yes, that is.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you guys very, very much. All right.
Any questions?
Yeah, is your sister okay?
No.
Oh,
She's been Elvis Presley trauma center. We had a record involvement.
Okay.
Just up her leg.
Okay. I want all candidates for City of Cherokee Village. We have one that is coming that is behind. She'll be here about 10 minutes. So we're going to go in the order of council members, mayor, and then clerk.
Answer your question, then come back. But if you just want to do it, that's fine.
Okay, so who wants to start us off? I guess we're our only council that's here, so I'll go ahead and just ask you both questions. If you want to state your name and maybe, do you guys have it split up in areas in your city, or I don't know how that works for you guys, but if you want to say a little bit.
Yes, we have 4 wards and 2 positions in each ward. I am currently in Ward 3, Position 2. My name is Steve Thompson.
Okay. So the first question, it's kind of the same for as what I asked the JP candidates, but of course the county will be changed to city.
Hey, Steve, address the people though.
Okay. What processes and procedures will you strive to continue and/or establish in regards to city business?
We certainly need to continue detailed budget planning and review so that citizens, state auditors, council members, and city employees have a clear understanding of all financial aspects of the city. While this is certainly in very good order today, it does require ongoing vigilance. Also, we need to continue ongoing review of personnel policies and procedures in all departments to assure that all employees are in compliance with established policies, have read said procedures, and that all procedures are in compliance with state and federal agencies and statutes. We also need to continue to coordinate with planning and zoning commissioners as well as city council and P&Z department employees so that we promote a true sense of partnership with property owners and investors. This is vastly improved this year, but more work is needed.
All right, so the second question, what are some of the issues in your city you want to help resolve?
We have an ongoing need to attract additional property owners of both residential and commercial. No one has got more interest in the maintenance of the quality of their home than actual owners. Owner-occupied rooftops are critical to the long-term success of any community. Commercial investors must be welcomed in a manner that gives them confidence that they've chosen well, from planning and zoning in the initial permitting process to superior law enforcement and fire protection. I also would like to see some of the large tracts in Cherokee Village repurposed to such alternative uses as equestrian or hunting lodge tracts of 5 to 20 acres. This would require very careful planning so as we could assure that these efforts would truly enhance the entire community and protect the property rights of all involved.
Thank you. All right, do you guys have a preference on who goes first? Do one of you want to volunteer? Well, we're going to do the mayor, the mayor candidates. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Darrell Matson. I'm running for Cherokee Village Mayor.
All right, so the first question, I'm sorry, you have to give me a second to get to it. There we go. If elected, what 3 steps would you take to put your city on a firmer financial footing?
Well, first off, I'll just say that the City Council of Cherokee Village is responsible for the city's budget and for approving expenditures that are outside the budget. The current City Council has done a remarkable job the past 4 years. One thing I would like to do is, I plan on promoting our city as a friendly place to do business. We haven't had a great reputation, the people that I have talked to the last few years, maybe more. City's not known as a place that has anything for the people. A lot of our residents complain, nothing to do. These are things that I think we can change. And I'm going to work to make sure that they do get changed. I'm going to work with the people of the city to change these things. When it comes to business, I understand that business can locate anywhere they want. If I'm elected mayor, and my administration will actively pursue businesses to come to Cherokee Village. Now, I'm not talking just about retail stores. We need HVAC contractors. We need automobile service places, full service. We need coffee shops on the corner. Our planning and zoning commission is going to need to get educated, learn how to rezone properties for commercial spaces, do studies to make sure that they integrate well into neighborhoods. Of course, this increase in businesses will bring increase in jobs and much needed tax base for the city.
30 seconds.
Another thing is, there's, somebody already mentioned, thousands of federal grants and available for all types of different things, not just streets and walking trails, but all types of things. I'd like to have a whole committee of grant people working on finding these grants and helping our grant writer pursue them for various and sundry things to improve our city and as a place to live for our residents.
Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead and take a seat and we'll ask you the second question. Please state your name. And
My name is Russ Stokes, and I'm the incumbent mayor and running for re-election.
so the question, I'll repeat it again. If elected, what 3 steps would you take to put your city on a firmer financial footing?
Well, currently, our city is on a pretty good financial footing. When I first came into office, it was not, and due to diligence on part of the department heads, as well as the city council in preparing budgets, we have improved a great deal. We continue to monitor our spending habits. We do utilize grants. That was mentioned by my opponent. One of the things that stands in the way of Cherokee Village on grants is the per capita income of the city. This makes it difficult for us to qualify for some of the federal grants. But we will continue in grant research. City indebtedness, we're in good shape there. The only money that we owe is we're making monthly payments on 2 police vehicles. And currently I think that balance stands at about $18,000. The city, if you were at the meeting last night, announced that we had about $600,000 in operational funds. Now that's not like having a savings account. That's money that's going to be spent before the year ends. And at the end of the year, hopefully we will have money remaining in our cash bank account. We do have a reserve account, which we make deposits into quarterly. That stands close to $200,000. That's kind of like an emergency fund.
30 seconds. You have 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay. That we have to use in case if something goes wrong with one of our bridges. We have low water bridges that we're responsible for. There are low water bridges that the state is responsible for. I firmly believe that what we've been doing continually since I've been in office has put us in a position where we can move, and we're going to have to move at gradual steps. Nothing's going to happen immediately. Thank you.
Go ahead and come up for the second question.
Again, I'm Darrell Madsen, running for Cherokee Village Mayor.
What is the biggest issue currently facing your city, and how do you plan to resolve the issue?
Oh gosh, Sid, we got troubles. So Sid is an issue in Cherokee Village, and the reason they are is because they have the ability to tax our properties without any checks and balances. Their commissioners can't be voted out of office, and the people don't have representation. Our country was founded because of taxation without representation. Principles of people having representation or taxation and not being represented. So while we have this issue, our current mayor has worked with Sid and raised our property taxes without the people having an opportunity to be represented. They've been less than transparent about it. I'm going to work hard to make the city government transparent and accountable to the people of the city. Things like live streaming city council meetings will be of great benefit to all of our citizens, and take care of some issues where somebody said something but they didn't. Everybody will know what was said and when. A monthly statement of the city's finances, not because there's anything wrong with them, but what monies were spent, what monies were used, what monies came in. It's all public information. We can post it on our website on a monthly basis, keep people informed. I think that'll greatly increase the confidence of the people, which quite frankly has been disregarded. I will work for and represent the people of Cherokee Village. I'll work with the SID to make sure the agreement with the city is fair and balanced. Again, I'm Darrell Madsen. I'm asking for your vote to be cast for me on November 6th. It is within your power to make change happen, and I want to work with you to do that. Thank you.
Mayor Stokes?
Again, I'm Russ Stokes, candidate.
Sorry, go ahead. Can we repeat the question?
Go ahead.
Okay. What is the biggest issue currently facing your city, and how do you plan to resolve the issue?
The issue that my opponent mentioned is a big issue, but SID is a separate entity. The city doesn't have any control over them. The biggest issue that I see that faces the city is the infrastructure, particularly the roads and streets. We have a street committee that's been working on a plan to improve those. They call it their 7 or 9 year plan. We've obtained 2 street aid grants through the state since that program was initiated. Our second grant goes into effect probably in 2019. Bids will be let on repaving. These grants are worth anywhere from $250,000 to $275,000. The other alternative is to ask the citizens if they'd be willing to vote a special tax exclusively for road improvements with a sunshine clause in that tax, and that when that time period runs out, it would be necessary for them to come forward and vote another tax, if that was something that the city council wanted to present to the voters. The people who use the streets, the visitors, the residents, they express concerns, and some of these issues have been around for a long time. It's sort of like Rome was not built in a day. Those roads and streets were not fixed in a day, and some of these other problems were not fixed in a day either. It's going to take time. It's going to take people willing to work together to accomplish that.
Thank you. All right, and there are 2 more clerks. Either one of you want to volunteer to go first? All right. State your name and what you want to run for.
My name is Billy Sears, and I'm running for city clerk.
And I do apologize, in the story that we put in the paper this week, I did not clarify which questions we would be asking clerks. So as the clerk role is involved with the city council, we will ask the same questions that we ask the councils and JPs. Okay? So the first is, what processes and procedures will you strive to continue and/or establish in regards to city business?
I would say the first thing I would do would be make sure that the residents understand our current policies and procedures. A lot of our residents are elderly or older, and they don't understand a lot of the computer access that we currently use. I've had several residents in our town that I went personally to their home and sat down with them and pull up some of the policies and explain them a little bit better. The other thing would be access to the city clerk. Currently, right now, our clerk isn't in the office during the day due to other areas that she's handling at the moment. Several residents have also asked, am I going to be in the office? Yes, I can be in the office at any given time they need it. And I will take this special time to go out and meet them and help them with any of their problems. Another issue that I would say is doing some cross-training within the different department clerks that's in Cherokee Village. When we have emergencies that happen, we had one of the assistants had a wreck recently, and then not a lot of people knew how to do her job, so I think more cross-training would definitely benefit the city.
Okay.
My name is Deb Oikinger, running for city clerk.
We'll repeat the question, and it is, what processes and procedures will you strive to continue and/or establish in regards to city business?
We have established, going back and looking at many of the old minutes and that, and updating things, getting that onto the website so people have access to that. Billy had mentioned as far as when our assistant had the car wreck, there was standing operating procedures that were typed up and available for somebody to be able to step in. I'd like to be able to continue working on that has been started for my position so that anybody in an emergency situation could step in.
All right. Thank you. Good. Okay, and your second question. What are some of the issues in your city you want to help resolve?
Wow, that's a big one. I know currently our administration has been doing a good job with some of the areas and trying to work on a lot of the issues we have. Planning and zoning, they've really come in and worked a lot. I know we've got Corey that's been in code enforcement. I know he's done a very good job. Issues, I believe, is informing the people. I know a lot of the residents are very confused with the SID and the tax situation, and I don't think we're getting the word out to the people very much. They're angry, they're confused, and I think we need to focus on informing our residents a lot better than what we have been. If we're informed, we won't be as frustrated, and I think we really need to focus on that.
Question, please.
What are some of the issues in your city you want to help resolve?
I'd like to see some additional cost training for sure. I think it would be advantageous to have some of the information from council out on the website. I've seen some of the information from Ashflat and Hardy that is put out there. I'm not sure if that's something that we could do, but that would be advantageous for people to be able to actually see it on the website and not have to rely on coming into the city hall to the restricted hours.
Thank you, guys. These are your Cherokee Village.
Do we have any Highland candidates? Do we have any Sydney candidates? Do we have any Cave City candidates? Y'all, I appreciate you coming to this. Kim has something to say, but if you have suggestions on ways to improve this is the first time this has been done that we're aware of where it's been countywide, and we want to improve on this. So I'm open to constructive criticism, and I'll be in that lobby back there. Also, candidates have brought materials that are back there, so if they've said something you like and you want to pick up and learn more about them, or if you want to ask some questions if they're willing to stick around, that'd be great. And I'll turn it back over to Kim.
Just kind of elaborate on what she said about, doing this again in the future. it's something that we definitely want to do, and I personally apologize. We kind of threw it together quickly. It was, well, it was Lauren's idea, and it was great. I'm a Missouri resident, so, you know, I care about what happens in Sharp County because it affects my work through her and through our company. And so I just, you know, I thank you guys all for coming out, and we really do. We would love to hear what thoughts you have, things we could do to, you know, be better on this. And I know planning in advance is definitely my number one thing.
Kim, I think we all owe you a thanks for throwing this together to allow all the candidates.
It was her franchise. She's the one who came to it.
And one suggestion I make is so in order that Lauren doesn't get tongue-tied trying to read all those biographies, that perhaps maybe that you have the candidates read their own bios when they
Get up there for the first time?
or